Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Indah Aulia Rachmawati, and now we're gonna talk about assessing listening with my partner Dwi Arsadani Mahmudalia. So, in the previous chapter, we discussed several tools for evaluating the test properly. And now, our focus to the daily assessment that are often done in class, such as listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And today we will discuss listening assessment. So the process of listening itself is the process of conveying the invisible and inaudible meaning of the auditory signal, which is conveyed in the ear to the brain. The importance of listening is like oftentimes a good speaker we will appreciate more than a good listener. To determine a person's language skills, other people usually ask, "Do you speak Spanish?" and rarely ask, "Do you understand and speak Spanish?" So, to have a further impact, each teacher will provide an oral mode to improve language skills. In everyday life, we can listen more than we talk. Is it at home or at school? Indirectly, oral understanding dominates. From there, this listening assessment comes in, which is to assess the listening performance of a student. Basic types of listening. The first is intensive. Intensive is listening for the perception of the components. It's like phonemes, words, intonation of a larger stretch of language. The second is responsive, listening to a relatively short language, like a greeting, questions, comments. The third is selective, listen by scanning certain information, like direction from teacher, radio news, or stories. The fourth is extensive, listen to the guest's main idea and draw conclusion. Next is micro and macro skills of listening. From research in 1983, micro skills prove useful in assessing more specific learning. These skills are divided into two. There is micro skills and macro skills. The micro skill focus more on smaller chunks, language bloops in laser processing, and macro skill focus on the larger elements involved in a top-down listening approach. Next is about designing assessment tasks, intensive listening. So in this intensive listening, we will learn about how to look at tasks that range from intensive listening performance, such as minimal phonemic pair recognition. And this section is focused on the micro skills of listening. There are two types of intensive listening. The first is recognizing phonological and morphological elements. It's an assessment in the form of identifying a stimulus of two or more options. The second is paraphrase recognition. It's an assessment of the understanding of micro skills. It's like a word, phrase, and sentence.
Responsive listening, a question and answer format can be provide some interactivity. Selective listening, which is the test text listen to a limited quantity of oral input and must discern with it some specific information. Extensive listening, distraction is a widely researched genre of assessing listening comprehension. The difficulty of a distraction task can be easily manipulated by the length of the word group. Communicative stimulus. Another and more authentic example of extensive is found in a popular genre of assessment tasks in which the test taker in presence with a stimulus monologue of conversation, and the X to respond to a set of comprehension questions. Authentic listening tasks. The language assessment field would have a stock field of listening text type that are convincingly demanding, communicative, and authentic, not to mention to active by means of integration with speaking.
So that's all for us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.